Okay, so we are on to the final video of the year, and in this video, I'm gonna share some things that helped me ace 2024, things that helped me become a better person, help me achieve my goals, and stuff that I'm taking forward in 2025. I have been into self development content for years now, reading self development books and articles, listening to podcasts, and watching videos and films and documentaries and stuff. And I've tried a bunch of strategies over the years, but this year it sort of all came together, and I came to know which ones actually worked, or at least worked for me, and which ones don't. And I'm gonna share exactly that. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Anudeep and I work as a software engineer by the day, and I make YouTube videos on this channel in my evenings on topics relating to self-development, productivity, business, tech, entrepreneurship. So if any of those topics sound interesting, please consider subscribing. Enough of the plug, let's get started. The final result matters. What actually gets done in the end, that is the thing that matters the most. Yes, it is good to form input based goals because a lot of things in life are outside of our control, which I or the Stoics say are in the external locus. But we have to make goals and take actions and form systems on our inputs. So it's obviously a good idea to make input based goals, but while we are taking action, while we are actually doing those things, we should have the end goal in mind. We should have a broad mission of why we are doing a particular thing, and if the thing that we are doing is actually going to take us where we want to get to and in due time, because it is very easy to stray away from the main objective if you're just focused on the inputs. Yes, this is a bit contradictory to what I have said on this channel and what I have implemented until now, but this year I have realized that when I'm just focusing on the things that are in my control, while also in the back of my mind focusing on the end result, that is when I have been able to achieve the most. So, as Chris Williamson says, pretending to do the thing is not doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing is also not doing the thing. Making a to do list for the thing is not doing the thing. Telling other people that you are going to do the thing is not doing the thing. And reading about how other people have done that thing is also not doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is actually doing the thing. So basically, we obviously have to focus on our inputs, but we always also have to keep in mind the end result, because only after we have achieved the end result will that thing be considered done. All your inputs are meaningless if you're not able to achieve this final goal, this final result. So having this end goal in mind while you are focusing on your inputs is a very good strategy to have, and this is something that I'm definitely going to take in 2025 and beyond. And so previous to this year and also in the early parts of this year, I would make these lofty goals and systems and make these fancy to-do lists and Notion and Todoist and stuff, and then I would block my time out and I would focus on the systems and stuff, and then something or the other would happen in life and the end goal would be just out of the picture, and I would just tell myself that I'm focusing on the inputs, I'm focusing on what is in my control. But what would end up happening is that at the end of 2 month, 3 month, 6 month period, I would not be where I was supposed to be. I would not be where I had thought I would be based on the goal that I had set for myself. And that is when I came across this, I think from some podcast or some book that I read, that focusing on the end result, that focusing on the thing that you want to achieve every now and then while you are focused on the inputs is a very good idea, and this has just changed the game for me. So I would highly recommend this, and yeah, please tell me down in the comments if it worked for you. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus, and that is very true. I really believe that the ability to focus is one of the most important skills in 21st century, and especially in this era of social media where our attention spans are shortening and we are easily distracted by whatever the hell other people have to do online. The ability to focus at a particular thing in a phase of life. So for example, if you're bodybuilding, focusing on just the task of bodybuilding for the next 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, or the ability to focus on a particular task for 3 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours, to be able to get that task done is really a game changer. And I have been trying to inculcate focus into my life since a few months now, and I think that this is something that sets me apart, because even the people that I interact with, they tend to short bursts of 20 to 30 minutes because that is what their maximum attention span is, while me on the other hand tend to work for say 1 hour, 2 hours, or maybe 3 hours on my best days. So I think this is something that has helped me transform my productivity, my life, my work, and helped me achieve success in ways I could not have imagined. So yeah, if there is something that you want to do to 5x or 7x your productivity and your success, I think that is the ability to increase your focus. So I'm going to talk about two things here: deep work and flow state. So this term deep work comes from Cal Newport's book Deep Work, wherein he categorizes work in broadly two areas, that is deep work and shallow work. So shallow work is the non-cognitively demanding tasks that are sort of admin tasks that don't require a lot of brain power and don't require a lot of focus, and you can do them while being distracted. For example, doing the laundry or answering the emails or answering a phone call, or like sending a text message on Slack or Teams or whatever. So these are tasks that are important for the overall goal that you want to achieve, or important for the task that you want to do, but they are not moving the needle forward. Deep work, on the other hand, are cognitively demanding tasks that cannot be done when you are distracted, that requires focus, that requires concentration, and that requires brain power. In fact, you will feel spent after 1 hour or 2 hours of doing this type of work. So what I have realized is that this is what Cal Newport talks in his book Deep Work, and that is that in fact, for me, most of the value of my life comes from doing more and more deep work. So that's why even when I'm blocking out my calendar for the week, for the day, or even when I'm doing anything, I try to do the more and more of deep work and less of shallow work. Yes, we cannot avoid shallow work because it's a part of life. We obviously have to make food, do our laundry, answer our bosses or colleagues or like subordinates and stuff. But minimizing the time to do those things and maximizing the time to do my deep work, I think that is something that I have done, and that has actually increased my productivity, because now I focus on the things that actually move the needle rather than being busy, because the busy syndrome is killing the world. And the thing with shallow tasks is they are very repeatable and they can be delegated to other people and now to AI. So there's no point spending 2 hours, 3 hours a day doing shallow work that can be done by an AI or somebody I can pay to do that work. So yeah, I mean, the whole point of it is the more deep work you do, the more success you'll achieve. At least that's what I've come to know. A recent example of this is, if I have to complete a project, the deep work task for this project is actually coding it out. And now preparing the documentation, communicating the objective to the bosses, communicating subtasks to team members, setting up the Slack channel, all those things, they take up time, but they are shallow work. Like, it can be done either at the end of the day, after you are spent, after you have done the main deep work task that has actually moved the needle forward, that has actually helped you move closer to the end goal. After you have done that, you can do those shallow work. But what I have observed even at my workplace is that people tend to set up long meetings straight up at the top of the day with admin tasks, or they clear their emails and stuff at the start of the day. And what that does is it just drains you mentally and leaves you less capable to handle the more cognitively demanding tasks. So what I would do is tackle your main tasks head on first thing in the morning, and then you can take care of all the shallow work stuff. So yeah, that has worked wonders for me. I hope it does for you too. Okay, can there be a video that I post without talking about calendar blocking? I guess not, at least not in 2024. But really guys, this is one technique that has genuinely changed my life. Just calendar blocking and following my day based on a calendar. I just follow my calendar, that's it. Because I have taken the time to set up the appointment, set up the tasks that I have to do, set up the things that will actually move me forward. Okay, I just completed 10,000 steps, it's fine. So what I mean to say is that I just do it, and I have recommended it to people, and I'm just surprised how less people actually block their time on the calendar and actually run their lives based on a calendar, because they would just block the important appointments, the meetings and stuff, and then I see a big chunk of empty block on their calendar, and then that is the time that they waste here and there. They are not in control of their lives, and then they complain that they have too much to do. But really, just taking 15-20 minutes at the start of the week to just block out the main things that you have to get done this week, and then just following it. It is just an identity shift. Just being a person who follows the calendar is somebody who can achieve anything in this world. The people who I have recommended calendar blocking to, and the people who have applied this technique to their lives, say that they face a lot of problems initially. And I mean, obviously there are a lot of problems with every technique, but I would go over top 3 problems that people face and the solution to that, because people just face the problem and then they just get rid of the calendar blocking system. That is not how it's done. Like, if you are facing the problem, there are solutions to it, and I would go over 3 mistakes that people make while doing calendar blocking. So first is underestimating or overestimating the amount of time it takes for you to get something done. Now, if there's task A, and if it actually takes complete that task, what your brain will tell you is that, and this is true for most of us, is that it'll only take 1.5 hour or 2 hour to complete the task, and at the end of that 2 hours you'll have something else time blocked. But as soon as the 2 hour limit hits, you're still not done with the task, and your entire schedule for the day or for the week gets screwed up. So what I would recommend for this is, you have to try get the calendar blocking technique for at least a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then every time you fail at completing a task in that designated amount of time that you had blocked on the calendar, you reassess, so that if there is a similar task that you have to do in the future, you will block more amount of time. A general rule of thumb that I say to people is that you block twice the amount of time you think that you will take to complete the task, and that just solves all the problems. Because if you complete it early, then it's fine, then that's fine, it's all bonus time. You can spend it all on Instagram or TikTok and stuff. But if not, then you actually have a couple of more hours in our case, then you still have a lot more time to complete that task. The second mistake is not doing consistent reviews and not taking feedback. So basically, if there's something that you were not able to complete in a particular amount of time, you don't take feedback and you just get rid of the calendar system. Whereas what you should do is that the next time a similar task pops up and you have to slot it into your calendar, you just go over to your previous occurrence of that event, see and assess if you were able to complete that task, if you need more time, if you need less time, and then adjust accordingly. And so in roughly 2 to 3 weeks, you should be able to assess how much time a particular task takes. And a lot of our lives depends on tasks that require similar amount of time. For example, doing laundry will always almost require the same amount of time every single time. Doing a meeting with your team members is just 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, depending on how your team operates. So that's the same amount of time. So building a feature in a code base that you're familiar with will take approximately the same amount of time. So yeah, take feedback, guys. Take feedback from yourself. And third mistake that I see people making regarding this calendar blocking technique is the mindset. And that is that people feel that they are being controlled by their calendars. But come on, guys, you yourself have put those blocks on the calendar, and those are the things that are going to take you closer to your goals. You know that because you have yourself put those things, and now because you have to do those things and your brain is telling you to not do those things because it is distracted by a million different things, now you are facing the resistance and you are making this up. You are making this story up in your head that you are being controlled by your calendar, but in fact you are doing the hard thing, the difficult thing of moving towards your goals. And yeah, if you can just shift your mindset from being controlled by the calendar to moving towards your goals, I think it solves all the problem. So goals are nothing, but system is everything. I think this is one of the main shifts that James Clear has made in people's minds after his book Atomic Habits was released, wherein he gave an example of how at the start of the marathon, each and every person has the goal of completing the marathon or completing the race or completing the end goal. But not everybody does that. The people who have systems in place are the ones who complete that. So people just shifted their focus from goals to systems. And that's why I think it is very important to have systems in life. And one of the main standing pillars of all the systems that I have are reviews. So I do consistent reviews wherein I just go over all the things that I have done in that particular amount of time. I list down my mistakes, I list down what went good, what went bad, and then I plan for the next few months, few weeks, or few days, or few hours, depending on what type of review it is. And once you set the goal, once 31st December or 1st of January hits, you make a new goal, you make a New Year's resolution, and then you just slack off because you are not reviewing your goal again and again. And so I conduct various types of reviews, and that helps me make systems for the next few months, weeks, or days, whatever. So the first type of review that I'm going to talk about is quarterly reviews. So this I do every 3 months. I make action items. I then derive action items based on the goal that I have to take in the next 3 months in order to achieve that goal. And on that note, I want to say that I don't have annual goals. Although this is an end of year video, I don't have annual goals or like annual resolutions or like things that I want to achieve in 2025. I just have things that I want to get done in the next 3 months, that is January to March of 25, because I think 3 months is a long enough time to make like considerable progress on any task, but it is just short enough so that it urges you to be serious and urgent about your goals and not slack off. Because if I set a resolution to be fit in 2025, or if I just set a resolution or a goal to learn coding in 2025, that's a lofty goal, and it doesn't have a deadline. And even if I have not started making any progress by say February or March of 25, I'll just say to myself, December is very far away, so I might as well start next month. It's a new month, so I'll start next month. But if I set a goal to just learn the basics of Python, or to just learn data structures and algorithms in the next 6 months, and if I have not started by February, I'll just tell myself, oh damn, I'm screwed, I might as well start. So setting these 3-month goals has been a game changer, and I think I picked it up from the internet. Somebody was talking about 12-week year. So yeah, whatever it is. But the point is that making goals for the next 3 months, like forming action items and then doing them every 3 months, is a great way to like set goals and achieve them. And even if you have a big goal like that you have to get done by the end of 2025 or 26 or 27, it is a great idea to break them into smaller goals, small 3-month goals, and then start taking action on them. Because what will happen is that at the end of every 3 months, you will be reviewing that goal, you will be going over it, what got done, what was not done, what went bad, and then you will be reassessing. So it serves as an extra checkpoint for you to reassess yourself, and the more times you reassess yourselves, the better the odds of success are. The other type of review that I do is the weekly review, wherein for each of my quarterly goals, I derive what are the weekly things that I need to get done in order for me to achieve that quarterly goal. And this has been a standard practice for me since the last 2 years or so, and it has helped me immensely because at the start of the week, like I do it on a Sunday evening, and at the start of a Monday morning, I am clear what I need to get done, what are my major meetings that I have to attend, what are my major tasks that I have to do, and all the things are sorted. I'm not lost. So this is something that I would highly encourage everybody to do. And then the last type of review is a daily review, which is a part of my morning routine, wherein just before starting the work, I go over my weekly goals, and then I would take out at least 1 or 2 things, 1 or 2 major things that I need to get done. I just need to get done anyhow by the end of the day, so that I am able to make tangible progress in that particular goal that I have set weekly, so that at the end of the week, I am at a particular checkpoint which will ensure that I am able to reach my quarterly goal. So as I said, these reviews are a mechanism for us to reassess ourselves, to see what went wrong and what did not. Because if we are not doing this, we can just be lazy, we can just be lost in this flow of life, and these reviews are just checkpoints for us to just stop and reassess ourselves and take better action if that's needed. If not, then celebrate. So yeah, that's that. Alright guys, these are some of the things that helped me ace 2024 and things that I'm definitely taking in 2025 and some of them beyond. And I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As always, it means a lot. And even if not, I'm really grateful for your time, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Happy New Year, guys. Let's reach new heights in 2025. Peace.